Greetings YouTube! Today we have a Miele RX1 and I wanted to do some quick tips that you could try at home if your RX1 stopped working right. Now you could have an RX1 red or you could have a regular RX1. There's really no difference other than the color and a brush roller. There's some brush roller design difference, but not minimum difference. So let's get started. We're going to use this one. I'm just going to turn it on and show you what it's doing or not doing. The first step you want to do is drink some coffee. Alright. And if you're not familiar with my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And if you want to support what we're doing here on the channel, go ahead and click that link to the Patreon page, which helps fund the channel. So we're going to hit start and see what it does. It doesn't sound good. I know it's moved out of frame here. It just doesn't sound good. It's actually erroring out and giving me a couple different errors. So we're going to go ahead and turn it off, which is the switch located right here. We're going to turn it upside down. Alright, so first thing we notice, the brush roller is really dirty. Let's go ahead and clean. And as many of you know, this is not a replacement for your full-size vacuum, so you should have a full-size vacuum. I'm going to go ahead and use my central vacuum. Now one thing, when you take this off, or these little clips, when you take this off to clean this brush roller, is this little end guy gets lost real easily. So go ahead and throw him somewhere safe. So you're going to clean the rest of this. You can see there's some hair there. I'm going to show you, and we're going to turn the central vac back on just to show you. Alright, so now that I've kind of taken it apart real quick, I'm going to point out some things. So this wheel, you can see, has a little bit of hair on there. Give you guys a little bit of a zoom in. You can really see the hair there. It's stuck around there. It's ever so slight. So that can be a problem. And really the best tool to clean this up is going to be just a blade. Just gonna work that, clean that up a little bit. Get any excess hair off there. And you want to clean in there. Again, I've just vacuumed that out. Now there's some places where hair will build up there. You can use a number 6 screwdriver to get in there. Or pry bar, whatever your choice is. You'll see again there'll be some hair wrapped around there. And that's fairly standard for all these robotic vacuums. They all have hair that builds up. So, again, just tons of hair. Most of this is from my wife, actually. So, that's what I've pulled out of there. So, we're going to just set these aside for a second. Again, this is still full of stuff. I'll show you. We'll clean that up in just a minute. So the other thing that I'm going to do in here is we're going to use a little bit of compressed air. And we're going to blow in here. all jokes aside, my air hose wouldn't quite reach, so that's where I was for a second there. One thing, when you're blowing out one of these, you either want to be outside or you want to have something ventilating. The room I'm in is actually has negative air pressure and sucks everything out. It's just kind of a facility I'm in, but we're going to do this as well. Now what I just cleaned was all the sensors. So you want to clean these off. You want to clean these off. These are the drop sensors. So you just want to make sure you clean those off real quick. So next we're going to clean the brush roller up. And the best way to clean the brush roller up is to take a knife. You're going to cut, if you'll see, there's actually a line here you can follow on the brush. So I'm going to go ahead and cut on each side. Just quickly cut down. And then on the opposite side I'm going to do that same cut. You see most of it starts to just fly off. And you would do this on a regular vacuum. You can't say this is a design flaw, because any vacuum with the brush roller you're going to clean fairly regular basis. But this one's just got so much stuff in it. I have a dog and 2 cats and a wife with long hair, so this thing gets a good workout. The space it's in is kind of larger than what these machines are rated for. So alright, so that's mostly cleaned up. We're going to go to another machine. We're going to actually use a wire wheel to clean the rest of this up. Just show you what we got off all that. So to recap, we've cleaned these brushes, this guy. We've cleaned the filter by vacuuming it, but these you want to replace periodically. About maybe quarterly, every couple of months. And then this, and you want to clean this, make sure the squeegee is good. There's a hidden tab to get in there. So that's what you want to clean. Right there, these components. So I'm going to go to the wire wheel real quick. I'm going to clean this up, and we'll be back. So how I always clean brush rollers off is with a wire wheel. And you guys probably don't have this at home, but that's how I do it. And you just touch it to there when you do this. You're not actually going to touch the plastic part. You're just touching the surface of the brush with the wire wheel. So this is going to get loud. See just how clean that gets. So let's go put this back in the vacuum. Alright, so that's been all cleaned up. So the next thing I like to do is I like to wipe this down before I put that in. So I'm just going to take some 409. You can use Windex. Doesn't really matter. I'll just wipe that down real quick. Make sure that's nice and clean. And you can see just stuff for some reason just builds up on there like any other brush roller chamber. Just clean that. Alright. So when you put the brush roller back in, you have to make sure you always have this little bearing. This bearing is available separate. You can also get it in a kit that comes with the brush roller. And the bearing, you want to make sure that it turns freely. So you want to grab it like so. Show you guys. You just want to make sure it turns freely. Like so. Now, if for some reason it doesn't turn freely, you're going to have problems. Some people put a drop of lubrication in there. I've got real mixed feelings about that. I'm letting mine go as long as I can without putting a drop of lubrication, but some people will end up doing that. So you got to make sure this is nice and clean, which it is. That's nice and clean. Where it's going in is nice and clean. Put the bearing on there. Just insert. Like so. Just turn it by hand. Make sure the machine's off when you're doing that. Alright, now play. We are... looks like it's the other way. Click. Alright, so that's good. Next we're going to put this guy back on. I give him just a real quick little shot of compressed air there. And it's real important you make sure the sensor in here is clean. Let me zoom in there. So there's a sensor right there. You got to make sure that that thing is clean. Right there. So, and these bearings, they'll move freely as well. There's just so much more air, and it just happens to sit there. And this bearing moves up and down for some reason, and it really just can be a bugger putting that thing back in. So that spins freely. So there's a plastic cap. Goes there. Those are clean. So put the side brushes on, which are clearly labeled when you do this. Left, right, and there's an L and an R there. Make sure they're clean up in there. And you can't mix or match these side brushes, just on a side note. And they're eccentric. There we go. So next, we're going to take this and we're going to wipe this down. Now, something I have noticed on mine, and other ones that have come in for service here, is that this squeegee seems to be a wear item. It's a wear item on a lot of vacuums, but it is something I think you do plan on replacing about once a year if you are using this. Not a big deal. It's not an expensive part, but it's something that Miele will replace under warranty for the first 2 years. Your dealer at least should be willing to do that because Miele is willing to do that. So that is that. And then we got all that out of there. There's only one place where that can go. So let's turn this on and see what it does. Set to do a spot clean. Sounds a lot quieter now. Alright. That is working. Now anytime you pick this up or move this, it's a good idea to turn it off with the switch. So we're going to do one more thing here. You can use glass cleaner, or like I said, the 409 is not going to hurt it. You don't want to put a whole lot on here. You want to make sure you wipe it off. You don't want it to seep in and get in the internals. So that is how you service a RX1 Scout. True Basic Service, or an RX1 Scout Red. So as always, please thumbs up, like our video, and if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and click that link to Patreon, and definitely give us a follow on Instagram.